This is another of our gunmakers interviews, and I'm talking with James Klein in his booth. We're surrounded by a bunch of neat-looking rifles. James, tell us a little bit about how you got into this.
Well, I started building rifles in 1977 as far as building guns for the trade. Mm-hmm. I guess I'm a Davy Crockett kid from the 50s, like a lot of people. If it wasn't for Fess Parker, I wouldn't know what a flintlock gun is.
There we go.
I acquired a little reproduction rifle in '74. Shot my first buck with a flintlock gun then, and I was hooked.
Since you talked about building rifles, you didn't go full-time at the very beginning? Was this a part-time thing at start? How did that work?
I pursued it that way for a while, but I'm also a musician. I've been playing guitar since I was 12 years old. I've been playing guitar professionally.
Neat.
And so between the rifle and the guitar, I had to make a decision. I spent 9 years living in Los Angeles playing guitar. That's taken me halfway around the world. Mm-hmm. And built a few guns while I lived out there. When Noelle and I met and married and started our family, we moved back to Michigan. Mm-hmm. It's a nicer place to raise a family.
Okay.
And I always came to Friendship. Every year we'd come to Friendship and show my latest creation to Homer and anybody else that I could get an opinion from. Mm-hmm. And one day the telephone rang, and it was Homer Dangler asking me to go to work for him.
Oh, okay.
And I built rifles for Homer for 4.5 years. Mm-hmm. And then when he wanted to retire from his kit business and making the stains and stuff, then we purchased the business from the Danglers and took over this booth here at Friendship.
Okay.
We've been here ever since.
I see. Okay, so your association with Homer is part of where you got some experience that you...
Oh, absolutely. I've always been good at the art end of building guns. Homer taught me how to do the mechanics.
Yeah, architecture type stuff.
And just good quality inletting, what it took to buld a good functional firearm. I also, during the late 70s, I also did what I call my telephone apprenticeship with John Bivens.
Okay.
And John was a dear friend of mine.
Oh, yeah.
And I got to visit him down in Winston-Salem, and that was a huge leg up because it was the first time I saw a professional shop set up. Mm-hmm. Understood how to go about building a rifle the right way. Mm-hmm. So I've been blessed by
two great guys.
Yeah. And Jimmy Chambers is a dear friend of mine, and I certainly learn a lot from Jim. Learn from everything.
Yeah. Well, that's neat. Do you have a favorite style of gun that you like to make?
I don't really have a favorite. I have several that I kind of repeat because of my kit business. I do a lot of guns in the style of J.P. Beck.
Okay.
A lot of rifles in the style of Peter Berry. Mm-hmm. I really enjoy early Virginia guns. I find them quite fascinating, and I own a real fine original Virginia rifle that I like to replicate for my customers. Mm-hmm. I've collected old rifles for a number of years. I'm a member of the Kentucky Rifle Association, so I get to see the good stuff once a year.
There you go.
And I enjoy doing copy work. I like copying the old guns, or at least working in the style of the old builders.
Okay.
And I figure Jim Klein's style will come out no matter what I do.
Okay. I think you're probably right.
Music taught me that.
Okay. Yeah. Do you have favorite locks you'd like to work with? We have a lot more than they used to as far as choices.
My favorite gun lock has always been and will always be the Silent.
Okay.
It's for the rifles I build, the style of guns that I make. That seems to fit most of the things that come across my bench. Other than that, I use Jim Chambers locks. I do a good number of Christian Spring style guns for the guys every year, and so Jim's big Germanic lock fits the bill.
Okay. What kind of information do you want to find out about a customer when you're getting ready to build? Or maybe I should ask, what kind of stuff do you want the customer to know about flintlocks when they come to you and say, "I want you to build me a gun"?
Well, I just try and stress the history.
Okay.
Number one, I don't want to step on toes, but I don't really enjoy doing what I kind of label fantasy guns.
Okay.
And so I try and get them to understand the history of the rifle that they're looking at. And beyond that, it's just like any other firearm, length of pull, those kind of discussions. Where do you want your rear sight? But once they've chosen a style of rifle, then I try and give them a little history lesson on the original maker, show them pictures of original guns by that maker. And then we can maybe mix and match details from 2 or 3 of that guy's guns and come up with another plausible rifle that could come off his bench.
That sounds, yeah. I gather it's safe to say that if somebody comes up with components that really don't go together, that this is where the gunsmith kind of coaches the guy into understanding.
Then you got to be a diplomat.
Okay.
And help him understand. I can't tell you how many times I've had to talk somebody out of a bad caliber choice because they had a coffee can full of round balls in the garage. That sort of thing.
Okay. Do you build smoothbores, fowlers, and stuff like that?
Yeah. I've done a considerable number of fowlers. But I'd say the mainstay for me though is Pennsylvania and Virginia rifles, and I love to do carved and engraved guns.
Okay.
I make my own patch boxes. I try to keep everything as traditional as possible.
I had a great grandfather that was in the Lancaster County militia during the 1770s. If I came to you and said, I would like to come up with some kind of a gun that would be typical of what he might have carried, although we have no existing information, does that kind of project trip your trigger?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I enjoy that kind of project.
Okay. I don't have the money to do that, but it sure would be fun. Is there anything about you or your business or how you like to do things that you'd like a potential customer to know that I haven't thought to ask of you yet? Let me ask a question this way. I'm assuming that a guy who builds as many as you probably has a backlog of orders and stuff like that. Can you speak to that, perhaps?
Yeah, I generally run about a year out.
Okay.
I don't like to... I'd rather shut the order book down for a little while than start telling people 2-3 years down the road. Just because most customers really don't want to hear that. And I always try and quote my delivery date long and come in short, so the guy's proud of me.
Yeah. Okay.
And beyond that, it's I strictly build guns to order. I do not build speculation guns and put them up for sale.
Okay. Okay.
I just go to the order book and build the next gun in the book.
Okay. Sounds cool. I forgot earlier. I was asking about components. Do you have a particular guy you like to buy your wood from? That was another thought.
Well, a particular place to buy the wood. I over the years have bought a lot of wood from Wayne Dunlap. Wayne's always been good, and I like his grading system. And at the same time, being a good Michigan boy, there's a lot of sawmills in Michigan, and I've got my business card tacked on the bulletin board. A lot of them. So every once in a while, we get lucky.
Okay, yeah. Wayne's discussion about what percent of maple turns out to be highly figured was interesting. It just doesn't happen too often.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
Yeah.
It can be hard to find. It's getting more expensive all the time.
Yeah. This is, again, getting back to component questions where I forgot to ask you when we were in that area. How about barrels? What do you like for barrels? Any?
Well, the big three: Coleraine, Getz, and Rice.
Okay.
Whichever one the customer really wants, I'm proud to put in.
Okay. Are you a fan of square bottom rifling versus round bottom, or does that not make too much difference to you?
It's all about my customer's wishes.
Okay.
At that point.
Okay.
And what he can afford.
Okay. Those are the kinds of things the customer can plan on making choices about.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't try and paint my customers in a corner, and I try and deliver what they see in their mind.
Sure.
And give them an heirloom quality gun that they can pass down through the family.
Cool.
And try and use the best components money can buy for the style of the project.
Okay.
And beyond that, we just try and promote our little kit business and our stains and finishing products.
Tell me a little bit about the kit business. That sounds like a...
Well, we took that over from Homer, and we have 3 different styles of rifles that we sell. A copy of Homer's old JP Beck that he used to shoot down here.
Yeah.
It's a dead lift off Homer's old gun.
Okay.
A copy of a Peter Berry that his buddy John Anspaugh used to own, and a copy of the old Virginia rifle that I bought from Homer. So they're direct copies of existing old guns, and I'm kind of proud of that.
Wood shape is right.
Every detail is right. It's that one gun. I've got pencil rubbings of the old guns that I include with my kits.
Okay. Neat.
So.
And then you mentioned the stains, and I saw them on the table. Have you taken over the business of making the stains from Homer?
Yes.
Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we make the Homer Dangler stain and the Homer Dangler Browning solution, all the finishing products that Homer used to sell, we now make and sell ourselves.
Okay.
The 3 different colors of alcohol-based stains, and the best Browning solution there is.
Well, I would expect you to say that. Well, thank you very much. This has been a good time. I should ask you, is there anything that you'd like to mention just in closing that I haven't thought to ask you?
Get more people into the sport. Everybody.
Well, it'd be nice to see more people showing up at Friendship, but I can't think of anything, Larry, to add to it.
I may chop a little bit of this off just to make it end well.
Sure.